this session, we will talk about 5 reasons why it is important to sell on Amazon and invest in your Amazon business, to take it very seriously. Our guest today will be Yoni Mazur from Getida. And Getida is actually one of the sponsors of the virtual event, which is happening right now. And this session is part of Seller Fest Online. And this virtual summit is sponsored by Getida, and Getida is a Amazon FBA auditing company, and they help to maximize FBA reimbursements for sellers of any size. You can check the link below in the description to get the offer as well. Another company sponsoring the session is Carbon 6. It's a suite of tools for Amazon sellers that helps to make it easy to optimize and streamline any aspect of Amazon business. You can check the link below in the description for the tools they offer for Amazon sellers. And last but not least, Quartal is also part of this event, and they are artificial intelligence powered Amazon advertising optimization platform, and they help sellers and brand owners to maximize their potential in e-commerce platforms. So check the link below for Quartal as well in the description. And this session I am co-hosting together with Lisette. Hello, Lisette.
Hi, Augustus. Great to be back here and also introduce our next guest, Yoni. So, hi, nice to see you and have you back here on Orange Click.
Nice to be here as well. Thank you so much.
So, before we go into you giving us those 5 reasons why it's important still to build an Amazon business, could you first introduce yourself and also introduce how Getida helps Amazon sellers?
You got it. So, hello, everybody. My name is Yoni Mazur. I'm one of the co-founders and chief growth officer of Getida. In a nutshell, Getida, we're a technology company, and our mission is very simple: is to help Amazon FBA sellers get the maximum FBA reimbursements that they're eligible to receive. So typically what happens is you connect to Getida, we're going to be able to go back 18 months on all your FBA transactions. So any of your inventory that got lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared, overcharged with fees, we're going to discover that. Make sure to reach out to Amazon, provide the information correctly, and of course if there's eligibility for recovery, for reimbursement, we're going to get that for you guys. And that's it. That's pretty much who I am and what we do.
Okay, sounds really good. So we are ready for your presentation. Hope you are as well. So go ahead, share your screen. And I also wanted to mention that Yoni will answer to all of your questions after he has gone through his presentation. So be sure to type in all questions to the chat box as well. So yeah, Yoni, please share your screen and we can go.
You got it. Let's do that. Give me just one here. Make sure I got the right one.
And actually, at any moment, if you enjoy the content Yoni shares, and usually it's very energetic and good content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click those buttons below.
All right, you got it. Sounds good. All right, so before I jump into all the craziness in the mix of 5 reasons for investing in the Amazon business, a little bit about myself and the history, just to give you guys context. So today I'm part of Getida. You know, our mission is to get you refunds and reimbursements, but Getida was actually born from our experience as sellers. So about 10 years ago, we started selling online. We started selling on eBay. That was the first platform we used. And then we started selling on Amazon 2013. And then the business grew very quickly from 0 to 20 million in FBA sales. And then we're part of a larger group. And together as a group, we're doing about 100 million revenue. And Getida was born from that activity because we had to create a good solution for refunds. So that's what I'm doing today. But today in this presentation, I want to touch 5 main reasons why you should still be investing in your Amazon business, or why you should be selling on Amazon. What's the potential? What's going on? So that's kind of the ambition of this presentation. You might hear something that, things that you already know. You might hear about things that you don't know. But hopefully, we'll give you the right energy and motivation and mindset to keep doing what you're doing for all the right reasons. Okay. So let's get into it. Here's high level the 5 main reasons. So the first one is chances are still in your favor. Okay, we're gonna touch that very deeply into the presentation. But opening a business, any kind of business, typically chances and statistically speaking, they're not in your favor. But in Amazon still are. We're gonna touch the numbers. The marketplace is still growing. Okay, it's still in growth mode. Although this year it's slowed down the growth levels, but it's still growing. There's still room to expand internationally. So if you want to have your brand become a multinational brand, it's a really good environment to be able to do it. Relatively much more simple than trying to expand alone in brick and mortar stores, anything like that. It does, but selling on Amazon does provide you a flexibility in business location, typically speaking, or technically speaking. You can live anywhere in the world, which is pretty amazing, and have a really successful online business. And you got the community support. So we're gonna touch these five reasons more in depth in each slide. Of course, Augustus or Lisette, if you have questions or thoughts, ideas, they think that are crucial to make sure we catch the absence, let me know. I'll be happy to kind of stop and address those. But yeah, let's start with the chances, guys. So here's some high level statistics for you guys to consider. 64% of Amazon sellers are profitable in their first year, which is honestly, it's unbelievable. It's pretty crazy, pretty amazing. Especially if I bounce over here, and you'll see, because we got this from the SBA, the Small Business Association. It's a government website. 98% of small businesses are not profitable in the first year. It's quite a pendulum, quite a big gap there. That's why Amazon is still kind of a sensation, or selling on Amazon is so buzzed, because when you hardcore look at the numbers, that's kind of what you discover and see, which is pretty amazing. So chances and the odds are, statistically speaking, are still in your favor. Nobody said it's going to be easy. Nobody said it's going to be fun all the time, but any business is challenging. Any business has its complexities. But at least on Amazon, if you invest your time and your money and your energy and your motivation into that vessel, chances statistically are still in your favor. So it's really worth exploring and putting your energy there. Here's another interesting statistics. 45% of sellers on Amazon are profitable, within the first 6 months. Okay, so it's pretty amazing. It's really unique, and has its reasons, but it's really understand that you guys understand what they are in numbers. And let's move on a few points here to consider. 65% of sellers, okay, Amazon sellers make over 10% profit in profit margins. Okay, so it's a really good statistic point. So if you're comfortable investing your time and efforts into a business, that there's a good chance you'll be able to make 10% in profit. So high level, all you got to focus on, if you know you have a good level of 10% profit margin, all you got to focus on is the top line, right? So you do $1 million, you make 100 grand. You do $2 million, you make 200 grand. You make 10 million revenue, 10% margin, you make $1 million. So if you have the ability to scale and keep that kind of profit margin, it seems like most of them are. It's good. You got to just keep pushing and finding a way to reach the consumers and driving traffic and converting and generating sales and keeping a healthy profit margin. And then you see that about a third, almost a third of Amazon sellers are making 20% in profit margin. Also, still dramatic. Okay. And I guess if you bundle all these reasons, that's what you kind of find, because there's still healthy margins, even though it's competitive. You'll see, 64% of making profit the first year. But here's another point to remember: 58% of sellers, almost 2/3, already made, sorry, under 25% and $25,000 in profit. So you bundle all these sellers together, they already made $25,000 in profit, which is pretty amazing, because typically in the outside world, when you invest in a business, you need a lot of money, and you're going to need a year or two or three to start getting some money back for your investment. Here it's a whole different game. You'll probably be making money pretty quickly, a decent amount of it early on. Not a guaranteed, but it's a good chance that you will. So that's why it's so attractive and important to be in that environment, in that domain. So even if you have your own website, you're doing pretty well, or if you have your brick and mortar business that you're doing pretty well, selling products out there, you can't ignore the power and essence of selling on Amazon and the impact that it can create, or the positive impact for you to have a better business with a better reach to consumers out there, and converting and selling them and providing your products to them is just too big to ignore. Or if you're already in the game, maybe it's a little wobbly, you're not making profit yet, it's okay. Just keep at it. Chances are still in your favor. Here's a few more points. 50% of Amazon sellers make between 1 to 25,000 in monthly revenue, high level. So half of the sellers are making around anywhere between 12,000 all the way to 300,000. 13% of Amazon sellers make between 25,000 to 250,000 in monthly sales. So about 13%. That's more the upper echelon, where you're making pretty much anywhere between 300,000 all the way to like 3 million. That's kind of 13%. And $30,000 is the average annual profit of new Amazon sellers. Okay, so think about it. Instead of you opening a restaurant and investing on 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, and good chances that in the first year you're not going to be even in business, so you're going to lose all that money or most of that money, or you're going to be able to make some of that money over the years with really hard work, which is still good. A lot of people do it. Restaurant business is a good business if you succeed. People need to eat. It's all good. But here you have a whole different equation where $30,000 is the average price of the profit that sellers make in their first year. So you invest your money, whatever it is, and within a year you'll be able to kind of make $30,000 in profit, which will be pretty much your income, your salary, so to speak. So and think of your first year as like a learning, like in a college. The first year you're learning. So imagine a college that teaches you how to do business and great business online, but it's paying you 30,000 a year to come learn in that business and do all the mistakes possible. I think until you start making the right moves and right decisions and getting better and better and better, and educate yourself like events like this, so you can really grow. So the next year you'll make 50,000, 60,000, 100,000. Sky's the limit, because the more you put the effort in it, the more you educate yourself, and the more the more you become sophisticated, you're just going to simply grow. So once again, chances are definitely in your favor. Statistics are very, very strong here. It's pretty well established. So I wanted to put that in front of you guys to make sure you guys know it. Here's another one. 69% of sellers spend less than $5,000 start selling on Amazon. So remember how I give like the restaurant statistic. Today if you want to open a restaurant, at least it's going to cost you, I mean, 50,000, 100,000 here in the United States. Other countries, I'm not sure. But here we're talking about that 70%, almost 70% start with $5,000. The average of them are able to make $30,000 of profit within a year. So here, if you take that as the average, kind of the high level average, 5,000 become 30,000. That's 6x on your money within a year. It's much better or more interesting than any other investment in the marketplace right now. It can be more interesting than real estate or stock market or bonds or currencies, stuff like that. This is what it really what the cost and value is here on being on the platform and selling on Amazon. So Amazon accounts for about 40% of e-commerce in the United States. Okay, you'll see that the top 14 retailers, online retailers in the United States, are only 30%. So you bundle all of them together, which is eBay, Walmart, Apple, Target, Home Depot, all these guys, put them together, they're still smaller than Amazon. So if you're thinking, I should probably do multi-channel and rush to do, you should, it's fine. But you realize that put them all together, they're still smaller than Amazon. And then you have the rest of the internet, the rest of the platforms out there. It could be Shopify and all these other guys. So it's really, really strong numbers in terms of e-commerce within the Amazon ecosystem. So you guys should be well aware of it, and just I always suggest play on all sides. But if this is the side that has the most, and you should probably make sure you maximize on your opportunity there. Okay, Amazon accounts for about 66% of consumers' product online search in the United States. So 66% of all the searches of products out there in the United States, they begin on Amazon. Just to show you the impact, and you cannot afford not to be there. Let's put it this way: somebody looking for a product in on the internet in the United States, um, 66% of them start the journey within Amazon. So if your products are not there and you're not bidding on the right keywords and stuff like that, you're just missing out. That's why advertising and keyword ranking and optimization is critical. It's so big, because in other words, you can say that Amazon is the largest search engine for products in the world today, or at least in the United States. So as a search engine, much like any other website, you got to make sure your SEO optimized, and consumers are always able to find you, and you have a good relativity for the keywords that they're using to find the types of products that you're selling. Okay. Another growth component here within Amazon. Amazon Prime membership is still growing. Okay, the projected growth in 2022 is 15%. Okay, let's see what happened between 2021 and 2022. Prime members were about 66 million, and this year they're projected to grow to 76 million, which is a 15% bump. So this indicator is still growing, and these Prime members, they love Amazon Prime. They love the fast, for 1 or 2 day Prime fulfillment. So the more you send to FBA and utilize the FBA mechanism, you're going to be able to capture these shoppers and consumers. So internally, you have 50% growth. So what does that mean a little bit? It means that even if you kind of stay where you are in Amazon, because Amazon's growing, you probably will be growing as well. So if you spend the same on advertising, stuff like that, it's most likely that you're going to be able to reach out more and more consumers. But it's probably not going to happen. The cost of advertising will still probably increase because the competition, because more and more people are kind of watching these presentations and said, oh, snap, I should be selling more, focusing more, or investing more on Amazon, which is okay because the growth potential is still there. But on the Prime, Amazon Prime indicator, it's still growing, so that's a healthy point to remember. And let's see what we got during COVID-19. here's a little tip for you guys. Lockdowns during the COVID-19 lockdowns, Amazon has gained new layers of senior age groups that might be underserved. Okay, people who are 60 years and older, they were stuck at home in 2020. They were not even able to go to the stores, but they had to shop. So they had to shop online. So Amazon was the immediate opportunity for them to use, and they did. So they're there. They're new to Amazon, relatively speaking. Um, they're used to Amazon now. They like Amazon. There's an opportunity, I think, to consider launching new products to serve them. for people 60 years and older, 70 years and older, they have more disposable income. So the thing is, if you start making products that are targeted at them, good chances of success and less competition, because the way that a lot of the players that come into Amazon today, they come in because they see already sales rank of existing products, so they try to make it better, a little cheaper, stuff like that. So it creates a lot of competition. I'm saying, if there's a new layer of consumers that there's no data about them because there's no products or enough products that target them, be creative, be innovative, create something that you think will be really good for them, and then target them with keywords, and then you generate all these sales. Eventually, when you're going to be successful and you're going to have a lot really good sales rank, then you're going to get targeted by other sellers. But be there first. You can be first to market on these types of layers, and until you do, if you will be the first to market and service them, you're gonna get a year or two of good results, good profits, and then hopefully you have your moat, you have a lot of reviews, whatever it is. So the ones that are coming up to compete, they will compete, but you at least have a good distance before them, and there's an opportunity to make money there. This is my humble suggestion for you guys. So if you're innovative, you like to seize an opportunity, I think this is an opportunity that's out there for many sellers to explore and try. This is not a guarantee. This is just for you guys to explore, or at least to think about. All right, so now we're moving into international. Okay, here's the 3 points about international expansion. Okay, Amazon sellers make great efforts to learn and manage the platform. Right, you're gonna study how to use Sell Essential and how to advertise and how to source, how to launch everything. So you did that. You did well on one Sell Essential. It could be that you did well on Sell Essential USA, and then why not expand to others? Or if you did really good at Amazon Sell Essential Canada, you can expand to the USA. Or if you did really well in UK, so saying it doesn't matter where you started. We'll touch it in a minute, but you can really expand internationally relatively easy because it's the same platform, right? So why not leverage it to expand to international marketplaces? Amazon provides the same FBA logistics structure, okay, worldwide on FBA. You know exactly how to ship it to FBA, FSQ, all that stuff. So it's all the same. So global product suppliers are used to shipping internationally anyway. So if you really have a brand that's really international, what's the difference? And you have one Amazon account, some country, why not expand to the rest of them? It's going to be relatively easy for you to adjust. Canada and UK markets are easy add-ons for Amazon sellers who are based in the US, okay, because of the English component. So if you're selling Amazon USA, Canada and UK, even Australia, because the English-speaking component, why not tap into these territories, these markets, and gain access to another, let's say, over 100 million consumers out there? You're not gonna have to change much on the packaging. It's all in English, anyways, right? In your listings and stuff like that. But some same language and very similar culture, but mind the nuances. Some some language is a bit different between these territories. For small example, if you're selling a hot dog, you know what, we all know what a hot dog here is in the United States, but in the UK it might be called sausage, or we call a soccer ball, they call it football. So these are the nuances. Be attentive to that. So consumers in those markets really feel that you're speaking to them in their own dialect and their own nuances, codes, so they really feel good about your listing and the content and the copyright, and they convert properly, and there's nothing looks kind of funny to them. Okay, because if you're gonna, small example, if you want to sell a football to them, and it's going to be an American football, you're going to show it to them and say, yeah, I'm a little confused here. Football is, soccer, a soccer ball for the British people. So they're going to see an image of a football, American football, but they read it's all football. It's going to be all kind of awkward or confused. So if you're selling a U.S. football ball, you should say American football ball, so they know. So okay, and I understand. So this is a small example of the nuances. Keep that in mind. Just of course, if it's too much of a confusion for you, there's solutions out there that help. Reach out to them. They'll be able to help you. All these translators and cultural content writers. All right, let's keep moving. On the international side of things, the speed of growth of Amazon internationally is higher than the USA. In other words, the markets, these international markets of Amazon, they're actually growing faster than the United States. So what's amazing is not only that you have the growth in the United States, if you expand internationally, you get even higher levels of growth because Amazon is putting a lot of efforts to grow there as well. So good chances of growing. Also, if you seem to max out of the revenue in the United States, really that's when you get the signal to expand. So you're already selling for a few years in the United States. You're kind of making the same amount of revenue every year. You're kind of stuck there, and you want to grow. You have the ambition to grow. I mean, international should be turnkey for you. Should this? So hopefully you're watching this, and this is your wake up call, and just make the effort. Start in Canada, start in the UK. It's gonna be a little awkward, a little inconvenient because you have to make changes, but do it because you're gonna grow, and you owe it to your business, you owe it to your organization, you owe it to your pocket. Why not? The markets are there, the consumers are there for you, and you should probably reach out to them and make the effort. Okay, here's a quick announcement here. If you are considering to grow internationally, So here's a cool incentive for you provided by Amazon. It's called the New Seller Incentives. They announced it this year. So they're telling you if you open a brand new Amazon account with brand new ASINs and you have brand registry, so this is really more for the private label sellers out there. We're going to give you 5% bonus back from all your sales, up to $1 million in revenue. So in other words, you can save up to 50,000. So if you are selling in Amazon US and you're expanding to Amazon UK, you open your new account and you send the new ASINs over there with brand registry. You can, if in, and let's say you generate $1 million in revenue, they're gonna give you they're gonna give you 5% back up to $1 million. So there's gonna be $50,000 in savings. So that's a really really cool feature. That's if you expand internationally. But let's put international for aside a minute. If you already have a brand on Amazon, and if you want to create another brand with another brand registry, so if you open a new account in the United States or any of these international markets, you're gonna get that 5% back bonus. Okay, it's called New Seller Incentive Bonus. So if you were planning to expand internationally, that's an easy decision. And of course, if you're planning also to expand your brands and you want to do it under a new account with new brand registry, this is a great, great bonus that you can consider just to grow your Amazon business. It's very, very generous of Amazon. 50%, 5% or up to 50,000 a year. It's great. Take that savings, invest more into your sourcing, more into your quality, more into your PPC, whatever it is that you need to do to push your business forward. So take advantage of that as well. Okay, flexibility. Before I get into that, any questions so far? Anything immediate, or we're good?
Actually, I wanted to ask one question. What do you think why Amazon launched this new seller initiative program?
Yeah, so this is a signal from Amazon for private label sellers to launch more products. They want more selection, they want more competitiveness, they want to expand their markets, including international markets. So this is a signal from Amazon telling to you guys, do your thing. Invest more into our ecosystem, and we're gonna give you a bonus. We're gonna incentivize you. That's all it is.
And so far, it's only for U.S. marketplace or also other marketplaces. Do you know?
So if you look at the screen, let's see what they're saying here.
Yeah, I will
I'm
pull
gonna
it
read
up
it for
again.
you. Yeah. So let's take a look. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's see what they're saying. New professional sellers who list their first product on after January 1st. And what's nice here, there's no expiration date yet. So this is wide open. In the United States, Japan, or Europe, so which means UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain only, are eligible for new seller incentives. Okay. Also, existing professional sellers that are expanding to all these places are also eligible. So yeah, these are the markets that you're eligible, and all they really want from you is to have a brand registry with brand new ASINs, you'll get 5% bonus, just to make it
Okay.
simple.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a nice bonus. I think that's cool, and everybody should know especially if you're planning to expand. Boom, this is another reaffirmation. Just make sure you set it all right correctly with the brand registry so you can get that bonus back. Okay, flexibility. So Amazon sellers are their own bosses. They really are. It's really you against yourself in terms of motivation, focus, and making it happen. So great discipline is needed to master the trade. Invest your time in constantly learning. Events like this, Orange Click, Sellafest, and the Orange Click YouTube channel is one of the best sources you can find. So thank you guys again for having us and making all these events and all this content. So hopefully it's useful for you guys as well. The sellers can outsource the aspects of selling to the best in the industry. Okay, so they can really scale effectively, hold your team and providers accountable, and also develop SOPs and KPIs. So what I'm trying to say here is that um, there's really a good infrastructure for Amazon sellers and entrepreneurs like you guys watching this to really expand well, and really hire the best talent that's out there for the industry. So if you're gonna think that you're gonna do it all, you maybe you can, but you're gonna get tired very, very quickly, and you're gonna exhaust yourself. So there's solutions out there that can really help with many, many levels. It can be from sourcing to advertising, to content writing, to analytics, to pricing, to everything. So be open-minded. Make sure you really partner with the best of them, so they can all help you do the right thing around the board. So you scale effectively. But any team that you hire or service providers or stuff like that, just make sure you're like a coach. You got to make sure that they're accountable. They can provide a good reporting and accountability, so you know where you started and where you're going. And as you're going there, are you really going to those targets and directions? Okay, if it's a cost, if it's cost of goods, if it's a conversion rates of real listings, all of these, there's so much data that you can hone into to have all your solution providers and team members accountable for their results. Okay, so think very, very data driven and very mathematically. That's really more of your job to be the coach that's looking at all the numbers and statistics above, and you have all these players in your team making all this work for you, so you can really have really the best results and perform on the highest level. And of course, develop SOP, standards of procedures. So for any job, any role, so whoever's doing the job, they already know what they're doing, how to do it, and as they develop it and they do it better, and you develop KPIs, key performance indicators. If you ever need to replace them, that's fine. You bring somebody else. You have the SOPs, you have the KPIs, and it's much easier to be able to get talent or better talent over the years if needed. Of course, if you have your team, they're doing a good job, you grow together for many years, that's great. But if you ever need to replace them, the fact that you have good SOPs, standard of procedures, and clear KPIs, anybody else that you hire and train is going to be much easier, and it's going to be very, very strong business. It's going to be very hard to destroy you, right? Or very, very hard to slow you down. So but the ultimate reward is flexibility. You're really gonna be able to work and live anywhere. If you want to live your dream and work and live in Thailand or Singapore or wherever it is, and you have a good team around you and it's all well managed and outsourced with accountability and good SOPs and APIs, you're gonna have a really unique life that is not bound to a certain location. Because once again, in the physical world, brick and mortar, once again, you're retailers. So imagine you have to have one store in one location, you're stuck to that place, and if you're not there really taking care of business, or your team's not good enough, everything kind of falls apart, and you're really bound to one location. Or even if you have many locations, it's very tough. You always got to come in. There's real estate. You got to clean the place. Fix the building. There's so much around it. But when you do this stuff online and sell on Amazon, you don't have any of the physical constraints. It's all about data. It's all about numbers and statistics and a good team around you that helps you figure it all out. But then you can really take a laptop and you're in business and you can do major business. It could be tens of millions, hundreds of millions. I see it from our clients and sellers that I meet in the community. So you get an unbelievable flexibility on living anywhere in the world and really enjoying the cultures of the world. It could be one place that you dreamed of or many places that you dreamed of visiting or living a little bit. I think one example of that is actually Augustas. I think he's a digital nomad, but he is not an Amazon seller per se, but he's in the Amazon ecosystem and industry, and he helps a lot with the content, and he makes a living with that, and he's able to really live anywhere, which is pretty cool for any online business, and especially e-commerce and Amazon selling. Right, Augustas?
Yeah, I have to now show signs with hands. Yeah, you don't see me.
You're answering with the hands, but I can't see. There you go. Now I can see you.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so flexibility key points an Amazon seller that I recently met. Okay, so here's the numbers for you guys to consider. I met him very recently. He does about 50 million a year in annual revenue. He founded the business 2018. He sells product in multiple categories using multiple Amazon accounts. His core strength is in market research. He's really good in finding what's a good seller, what's gonna be a good seller, and everything. And once he finds it, he has a whole chain reaction that takes care of everything. That's how he's able to really do the business at scale. So he's really good at choosing and selling winning products. Pays close attention to market changes. So if a product becomes all of a sudden less popular, stuff like that, is too much competition, he might detach from it and already figure out which other product he can focus on to keep the revenue coming. So that's kind of his art. Lean operation employs a small amount of VAs. He simplifies the work for them. Okay, they need to and all the work that they really need to do. Then he sets them up with clear SOPs, targets, goals, and clear things you got to do, so you can follow up and have them accountable. So if they're doing well, great. If they're not, why? Try to figure it out. Um, and of course, if somebody's not good enough from your team, you can be able to replace them before it gets too late or before you waste your time. Also, the rest, anything else that his team cannot do, instead of hiring more and more team, he just tries to outsource the solution to software providers that are reputable and provide measurable measures of accountability. It could be statistics, it could be whatever it is that you can really see results over time. If somebody tells you they're the best but can never really prove it in numbers one way or another, and over time, it's probably best if you reconsider using them. And bottom line, this seller makes about 15% net profit margins. So net cash profit is about 2.2 million. Seller is super humble, low key. He's passionate about what he does, and he tracks profits daily and treats himself as a professional. So this seller, I'm already in this industry for 10 years. I only met him recently. He's humble, doesn't flash it, doesn't. I really had to by chance I was able to kind of develop a good relationship with him, and then he kind of opened up and shared the numbers. And yeah, low key, humble, makes a good living. You can safely say he's a millionaire, but he's like in his own corner, focus what he does well, quiet about it. But he looks himself as not as a millionaire and a super whatever duper. He's more like, this is a profession for him. I'm a professional, just like a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon or a dentist. Okay, financially I'm doing really well, but this is my job, this is my profession. I'm a professional and I have a team of professionals, and that's how we do our job. So maybe many of you or some of you are looking at this as side hustle, something to start on the side that maybe will grow one day to become the real deal. It might be. And this is an example of someone that launched about 4 years ago, and now it's the real deal for him, and is making a really good living. And like this, for example, in terms of flexibility, he's living where he wants to live, but he can always move to other locations because he's fully virtual and online. Okay, let's move on to the next. This is kind of the last point I want to make here. Community. Okay, there's an amazing amount of content, just like Orange Click, right? And resources for sellers, podcasts, blogs, YouTube channels, events, just like this event. Online and in-person selling communities are great to keep up to date, stay motivated and competitive. It helps to get through hard times. Celebrate the good times, but also solve challenges. There's a great network of solution providers that help you succeed. They help you scale. There's finance, companies will provide you help with finance. There's a lot of mastermind groups. Some of them are free, some of them are in pay. A lot of good logistics provider, ads and advertising providers or solution providers or software providers, agency. There's branding agencies. There's refunds and reimbursements. Some of them I do know of, and much more. So there's a whole community and system and industry out there that's there to help you succeed and help you grow. So be open to them. Truly try to find and use the best ones to fuel your growth. And that's it. That's pretty much on the 5 reasons. Now I just want to give you guys a few bonuses here. So here's your free tools for Amazon sellers. You could just visit getito.com/ebook. You get a package of 3 things. The first thing is how to read an Amazon income statement. All the money that's coming in and all the money that's coming out. Where is it all going to? You should be knowing it. If not, at least let your bookkeeper know about it or your CPA. Here is a profit and loss template, so you know all the money that you're making or maybe losing on Amazon, so you can put all your business expenses there. Here's a weight and dimensions tracker, so you can measure and track the weight and dimensions of your ASINs compared to Amazon on FBA to see if they're overcharging you with fees. So this is a package of 3 things that you get inside. And there's 3 points I want to make here in refund. So we discuss all about the 5 reasons of selling on Amazon. So once you do sell on Amazon and you're successful and you use FBA, there's 3 points I want you to understand here in terms of additional money you can make or funds that you're owed. So the first point I want to make is that there's between 1 to 3% of your revenue, and FBA might have an issue that you could get a refund for. Some of your inventory can get lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared, overcharged with fees, and all these issues every year. For the whole year, it's going to be between 1 to 3%. So if you're doing 100,000 in revenue, it's going to be 1,000 to 3,000 of refunds that you're owed. If you do $1 million, that can be 10 to 30,000. And on it goes. So whoever's watching it already generates FBA revenue can do the mathematics. The second point I want to make is that Amazon allows you up to 18 months to go back on all the data. And after 18 months, the opportunity to get a refund and reimbursement expires. So do not miss out. Okay. And of course, if you open cases with Amazon about these issues and they ask for more information or more documentation, make sure to reply to them and provide it to them so you get the refunds. And if any of you kind of were wondering if you might need help with auditing, have a look. This is more things that we get to look into. So if any of these issues look unfamiliar to you, it probably means that you're leaving money behind. So we'll be happy to help you. So you can take a look at that. You take a snapshot if you need. And then here's a quick case study of the positive impacts that there are if you really get all the money that you owe from Amazon. So here's a case study of an $18 million seller, sold about 300,000 units. 9,000 units got affected. All the inventory got lost, damaged, destroyed with all these issues, which is 2.8% of all the revenue. We helped to recover 151,000, which helped the bottom line by about 11%. Okay, why? Because before Getita, the profit was 1.3 million. We added 151, and boom, the profit expanded by 11%. So this is high level overview of the impact of getting all your money back. And there's 2 more things that can happen if you're really smart. So if you're selling Amazon business, okay, and if you add 151,000 to your profit, it's all about the multiple. You got a 5x multiple on your business because whoever's buying your business is really buying your profit. Then if this is 5x, you're going to get $750,000 on the way out when you make an exit. Okay. And then, of course, if you're buying an Amazon business and if you just bought this business, whoever sold you the business was not professional enough to take all this money out. So you were able to take that money out and get 151,000 in refunds and get a better ROI, a better return on investment. And then if you guys wanted to kind of try us out, we did prepare a special offer for a Seller Fest attendees. You can just visit getito.com/click with the KLIK. And the first $400 that we're going to get for you in refunds and reimbursements will be free. We're not going to charge you a penny. So that's a guarantee. You're going to have $400 extra in your pocket. After $400, if you want to leave us, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. That's fine. So this is what it is. So hopefully we'll help you guys make more money and just at least make $400 for listening to me speak today. And if there's any questions, this is my direct email. It's yoni@getida.com. We have a website. I'll be happy to answer and help. And I guess that's the time for questions. Yeah? Any questions?
Yes, we will have some questions. And now, of course, all the links you will find below in the description. Thank you for Getida. Thank you, Getida, and thank you, Yoni, for sponsoring this event. And we wanted to say that Yoni is not reacting to. He's like, oh, what is this? It's a logo of your.
Yeah, you're muted now. Yeah, we don't hear
you. Yeah. Sorry. I thought maybe you got shot. Somebody shot you a bullet and it looks like Getida. I'm like, well, how's that floating over there?
Looks like Getida.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Yoni for the presentation. And if the viewers also, if you enjoyed what Yoni just explained, then definitely hit like to the video as well, and subscribe to our Orange Click YouTube channel if you haven't yet, because we do have other videos with Yoni and also other awesome experts.
And besides this session, there is another what we call VP video delivered by Yoni. So this session is part of the SellerFest Online virtual event, where we have over 25 experts sharing different expertise. And we asked these speakers to record additional video, which is not part of the free content, but we packaged it as, we call it a VP package, which you can invest into and upgrade and get additional 25 sessions from all the speakers. And I know that Yoni also created some additional video. Let's see. Yoni, what did you share in this extra video?
I spoke about the main steps of building a brand name, the ins of the steps and the ins and outs of it. It's a whole journey, it's a whole process. So I go more in depth about it. So if you're really interested in building a brand or understanding what a brand is, or what's the difference between a brand or just a generic brand, all the information is there. So check it out.
Yeah, the video is here. And if you follow the link below in the description or with the link you see on the screen, you can get more information about all these videos. And mostly it's step-by-step guides, additional templates you can use in different aspects of your business. It might be also a checklist which you can follow to increase efficiency in your business. And now I think we have a few questions for you. Let's see. Actually, Vincenzo is giving you compliments.
Ciao, Vincenzo. He's in the UK, but he's originally from Italy, so a great guy.
Yeah, he claims that you provide great content. So yeah, let's see.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Evie wants to know what software is recommended for a beginner on Amazon to see numbers and ranking.
I can ask you that. You probably know better than I do, Augustus. You can start, and then I'll compliment if there's anything I need to compliment. Go ahead. I give it to you.
I would say if you are selling internationally, I would recommend a software created in Europe, because European softwares might display much better the VAT calculations, because at least in the past I saw that softwares created in US are not really calculating properly this VAT, because it's a very complex formulas and taxes and percentage is different in every country, and Europeans show numbers more precisely. So in European market, maybe Sellerboard is quite a good solution. But I think like Helium 10 also have something like Profit. So if you are already using some bigger software, you can also.
But what about ranking? So that's more, that's more of a P&L, what you mentioned. But what about ranking? I think ranking, it talks about the rank, sales rank, or your keyword ranking. It depends which one. It's pretty broad.
Yeah, for the keyword rank, you can use Helium 10, for example. It shows the organic ranking and also sponsored ranking, so you get the information from there.
So you're saying even internationally with different foreign languages, right, Lizette?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So once again, we're not sure which ranking. So if this is keyword ranking, Helium 10. If it is just listing ranking, I think also Helium 10 you can use, right? That shows you the rank of your listing, a BSR, the best sales rank.
And you can also see the BSR straight from the Seller Central yourself as well. So you can just check it under the inventory view if you go to your listing information.
There we go. So hopefully that helps out.
All right, let's take the first question. So you talked about building this business. So you have built several businesses, including Getida. So what bottlenecks do you see in growing the business? Maybe you can define different stages of the growth.
Yeah, so I'm gonna touch top three. I would say that I mostly see with sellers. So one bottleneck is money. You know that I really want to grow and scale the business, but I need more money so I can buy more inventory. I know my product is popular. I know it's selling. I know it's selling well. I have a good rank. I'm selling 5,000 units a month, but I know I can be selling 10 times more, 50,000 units a month. But I don't have the money, the capital to get there. So funding is one thing, and there's lots of funding solutions out there. There's Amazon lending programs that might reach out to you. There's maybe to potentially credit cards you can use if you're here in the United States. There's a American Express Plum Card. You get 90 days to pay back anything that you use on the credit card, so that's another option. And there's many other solutions out there. You should probably check the Orange Click YouTube channel for all these lending providers that have been to the show. Some of them have dashboards and platforms, so you can check the Demo Tuesday videos that Augustus has created over the years with the team with the Orange Click. So that's funding, and then you see just the traffic, how to drive traffic, the right traffic into the listing, so you can get more exposure and get more general revenue. And that's the whole PPC art. It's a whole thing of its own. It's a whole world and universe. So it might be that you understand kind of the basic elements, but the game is a bit more sophisticated, and you cannot figure it out. So that's where you might have to start maybe utilizing software or agencies, or start educating yourself with events like this. So that's more on the driving traffic and generating more revenue. And then just talent. As there's more things for you to do, you can't keep doing it. You got to get the right talent, and that can be challenging because some people are very, I do the best. It's hard for them to delegate, so they have to make that shift where it's not about them anymore. It's about a team. They got to build a team. They're gonna make some failures building that team. It's not always gonna be easy, and you might invest a lot of time and effort to somebody, and all of a sudden, boom, they leave you. That can happen. So do not be discouraged. Just move on to the next one and be very strong mentally when you build a team towards the right direction. So that's high level, kind of three things that I can really put my hands on.
Yeah, thanks. Talking about the team, can you give us pros and cons, team working remotely and in the office? I think now in the last years it's very popular to work remotely, but do you think it's a good thing?
Yeah, honestly, it really depends on the type of people you work with. Some people just need the office space so they can come physically see people, interact with them, maybe have lunch together, and just they need a human aspect. And that's how they kind of stay focused on the mission and what needs to be done. That's one type of people. But then you have, of course, other type of people where they're very disciplined. They always understand what the mission is. They're really focused at it. If you have, instead of in-person office, you keep meeting once a day or at least a few times a week or even once a week with them, they're good to go. They're just really professional and they're focused, and it's all good. So I really, honestly, it really depends on the people and the type of team you construct and their mood and their atmosphere. Some need that in-person culture, and some of them don't need it at all. They actually excel well when they have the time for themselves to focus on what they need to do. Every once in a while, you check on them, you make sure in the right the direction, and you move forward. There's no one answer fits all, but there's hybrids. It can be like, if you feel like you need an office, because I can share personally. I am an office guy. It's very hard for me to work at home. I hear my kids in the background. I get distracted. I want to go play with them. I want to be with them because for me, kids are special. So if I hear them, I should probably be with them. So once I get home, it's more like I got to disconnect from everything and just really pay attention to them. That's why when I'm in the office, it's the opposite. Nothing distracts me. I'm in my zone, and so I can really focus on what I need. That's me, and there's team around me here. But we have more than 120 team members in 6 countries for the organization. So we have an in-person physical location as the kind of a nucleus team, and everybody that can work remotely outside are working remotely outside, and it's working out nicely for us. That was our case also. So we don't sell on Amazon anymore. That's what we're doing today, helping Amazon sellers. But also when we were selling on Amazon, of course, we had the in-house teams, but we always had VAs and stuff like that working remotely. So we have the hybrid of both. So if you feel like you need a small office or office in-person location and a team around you, do it. And then everything else you can outsource, that's fine. So there's no black and white. It's a lot of gray. So don't be afraid to experiment and try.
And during the presentation, you mentioned that when you are growing the team, it's important to create SOPs. So could you give us some, it sounds like overwhelming. So can you give us some tips how to start documenting processes?
So some people think it's very complicated, but looking into yourself with the things that you're doing already for the Amazon business that you seem to be successful at. Okay, so of course I can start easy ones. If you have customer support issues with Amazon Seller Central, Amazon tells you need to answer them in 24 hours. That's a KPI, key performance indicator. They have to be, yeah, you got to keep the standard. So then the SOP of your organization, somebody has once a day at least minimum has to go in and check there. So now the question, who is it? Is it yourself? Is somebody from your team? And if it's somebody from your team, that's it. That's their responsibility. That's their SOP. So you start from these basic ones all the way to the ones that are more complicated. So if you're doing PPC advertising, and you know that you want to constantly do keywords. You want to research keywords to find more opportunities. Is it you who's going to do it, or somebody else? If somebody else, or even yourself, how many words a week or a month you want new keywords you want to find and try to start bidding on. So anything you kind of do, try to make sure how you can calculate it, make it quantitative, and create yourself a threshold. Okay, if it's too high, okay, you adjust it lower. If it's too low, over the time you adjust it higher. So you got to look internally, and of course, as much as you can, and then all the stuff outside, I would do recommend tapping into masterminds, summits such as this ones, or maybe the VIP package. All these elements you're going to hear, all these statistical data points that you're going to get exposed to. So that's going to be your benchmark. Saying, okay, if they're saying that the average ACoS on the market is 20%, I got to be in a position where my advertising is around 20%. Your ACoS. If it's 40%, you might have an issue. Try to do everything you can with you or a team, wherever they can, to learn how to make it lower, or outsource it to an agency that can help you get there. And that's easy. SOP and KPI. Your standard procedure, you want to be around 20% ACoS. The KPI, how to get there, it's under somebody from your team who's always in charge of it, or you outsource it. That's just another example. So hopefully this is helpful.
I do hope so too. Let's take another question similar to this. So what tasks do you think are the most difficult to outsource?
Honestly, it depends on you. It depends on the seller.
No, I don't like depends the answer.
No, really. So for some of you, you might be really passionate about customer support and the way they write it, the way they answer it. You want to make sure it's exactly like you. So it's very hard for you to say. So you want to keep doing it. It's all psychological. So I can talk about myself, but that's just gonna be my experience. I want to make sure everybody understands that you got to look internally to yourself and be honest with yourself. What's gonna be hard for you to delegate or to outsource? What do you feel very passionate, close about? That's probably how it's going to be the most challenging for you. But definitely, I would say top three. I can give you top three that I am most familiar with is logistics, global logistics. So you don't have your own warehouse, so you got to kind of rely on other ones. So you got to rely that you really have the inventory. Not talking about the FBA, even before it goes to FBA, all the way to FBA. Where's your inventory? You bought a shipment of $50,000 or $100,000 worth. So you're using all these global providers. That can be very nerve-wracking if there's not enough visibility of where your inventory is, if it's getting stuck, why is it getting stuck, customs duties, all these things. So you got to work with really good 3PL and global logistics providers, because most of your money is in your inventory. So that can be challenging at times. Of course, I think advertising is it's a great mission for all sellers to master and be really good at. So there's a lot of agencies and solutions out there, so that could be confusing, and that can make it difficult. And I'm saying most of them are probably good, so it's good to outsource anyways. But who exactly? Because there's so much noise out there, that could be difficult and challenging. That's the second one. So we said logistics, advertising, and it can also be bookkeeping if you really want to keep close the numbers, how much you're making, money you're making in profit or losing. Maybe you're very, very sensitive about it. You want other people to know, but you're going to have to do it at scale. So you might use a software or a bookkeeper or a CPA, stuff like that. That's very personal. That can be a little touchy for people. So hopefully this helps.
Perfect. And the last question. Any tips for entrepreneurs who are perfectionists and who have hard time to let go of things and they want to do everything themselves?
Psychologist. Visit a psychologist. Visit a psychologist. So this is you, like I said earlier, I think in the presentation, all these elements are really you against yourself. So you're gonna have to work on yourself mentally. Try others, but try to create a sandbox environment. I know Augustus, you come from the program world. It's called a sandbox, right? Do you want to explain a little bit about sandbox, what it means?
Oh, well, yeah, I used to be a programmer as well. Sandbox is basically where you are testing things before you apply all that code into the production servers. So yeah, basically you test it and it's not affecting anybody else who is using the system.
So with that spirit, borrowing from software development, when you want to hire, just create tests if you can. Create tests for them, an environment where you can test them out. If it's content writing, tell them, here's my product. Create a few examples for me so you can see how it works. Or you give them one. If you have a bunch of ASINs, give them one ASIN to try, and give them the ASINs that maybe it's not the best seller. Okay, so you give, even if you fail on it and it stops selling because it really messed it up, you're okay with it. Okay, or if you're looking for logistics, give them a small shipment, small, to test them out. It's a small test in an environment where even if it makes a mistake or something breaks, you can afford it. It's not going to be tragic. It's not going to destroy a business. So whatever you can, some things you can definitely can, some things maybe not, but try to be creative with it and try to create realities and situations where you can test them out. Of course, VAs, any VAs that you test out, you want to hire, just test them out. Tell them, okay, if you do customer support, send them like 5 questions, or that they're gonna have to figure out how to answer. If it's the ones that do content writing or visuals for you, tell them to create 5 listings from all these different categories, create it for you. If they're video editors or graphic designers, give them 5 topics or 5 things to do. Just test them as much as you can. And the ones that are willing to be tested and they want to be tested and they want to prove themselves are probably the best people for you anyways. The ones that are telling you, no, here's what I did already, here's my portfolio, don't waste my time, maybe you should reconsider those. Overconfidence not good. You want people who are humble, who are always willing to be tested, and they want to prove themselves to you. That's usually a good indicator as well. So they want to be perfect to your standards, because you said entrepreneur perfectionist. So you wanted to find the ones that are really want to be perfect for yourself, for you, and for your organization.
Hopefully it will work. Thank you very much, Yoni.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and hope to see you soon again.
You got it. Thank you so much, everybody. Good luck. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, you can still stay like a few seconds. So I wanted to mention that the link to Getida you will find below in the description. Getida gives you $400 for free as a reimbursement, yeah, basically that's it. This is the only thing you are specializing in Getida, right?
So it's 2 things we specialize. First of all, is getting your money back that you owed. Somebody owes you money, so it's our pleasure to help you get it back, and do professionally. But really, the other part is just support the seller community. With events like this, education, community engagement, networking. Because our philosophy is that if you guys grow, we grow, because it's all statistical based. Because once again, we can recover 1 to 3% from your revenue. So if your revenue this year is going to be 100,000, so we can help you recover 1 to 3,000. But now we're going to support you and help you get educated. And next year you're going to do 200,000. So now we're able to recover 1 to 3%. We're able to recover 2 to 6,000. So definitely the refunds and reimbursement is the first focus. But the above and beyond is the seller community and the education. So hopefully this event will be very helpful. So thank you, Augustus. Thank you, Lizette, and the whole Orange Click team. Keep up the good work, and that's it.
I just remembered 5 years ago I borrowed $100 to my cousin, so I will talk to you if you help with getting money back. Thanks.
There you go. You got it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
And now I would like to invite you to watch another video with Yoni, where he gives tips how to optimize your Amazon FBA business operations.